Hey guys, welcome to my first vlog. Super excited because I just got myself the iPhone 8 Plus. Keeping in mind we run the iPhoneography page, me and my wife, we're thinking of getting this, but it's good that we get to see it first before we get it. So yeah, let me get this sorted. Special shout out to Prasad, my friend, who let me do the unboxing of this iPhone. I guess it's always better to rip them apart. Wow. I'm not a big fan of Samsung, unfortunately. Reason being, I think they really need to work on their packaging. The beauty about iPhones or Apple, honestly, is the packaging. I mean, just check that out. So this is a 64 GB. Beautifully designed box, and I'm sure everything just compact inside as well. Let's have a look at that. Beautiful part is this. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Just love that. That's the beauty of Apple, you know, they really give you an experience. People might find Apple fanboys to be delusional, making a hoo-ha or small effects or some small features that Apple introduces, but honestly, what Apple sells them or people who hate Samsung is the experience. So yeah, that's the beauty there, if you can see it. So what's new? Let's switch that on. Good, so it's already preloaded with some charge. So I'm guessing you of course need to charge the mobile. I mean, it pretty looks the same as the iPhone 7 Plus. We have the 6 Plus and the 7 Plus at home, and this feels a little more heavier. It's a little more heavier, not too much. Yeah, and apparently they say that it's a little more wider as well. So yeah, standard. Let's go through this. Oh, so it has a feature wherein if you have an iPhone or an iPad running on iOS 11, if you bring it close by, apparently it will sign in automatically. So that's brilliant. I mean, in terms of migration of data as well, that would really work out if that really happens. We're going to set this up manually because right now I'm using iOS 10 on the other mobile, which I'm shooting from. So yeah, let's go and do this. So yeah, standard, using cellular network to basically activate. I mean, I'm quite surprised. Usually it isn't full battery charge. It's about 25-35% on new mobiles, and this one's actually full. So that's great. That's brilliant. I'm just gonna take this. Oh wow, that's another feature. So I completely missed out on this, but yes, the back is different. It's made out of glass, so that's great. It adds this really sleek look to it and gives a nice shine, glare. Just gonna skip all of this. So Prasad, if at all you're checking your mobile, the passcode is 123456. Just letting you know. Okay, so if at all you're an Android user and you plan to migrate to the best mobile, well, you can move data from Android, so that's easier. So once you've backed up your Android, you can actually connect your iPhone to iTunes. It'll import the data of Apple iTunes, and then you can use that data right here. So it's pretty seamless when it comes to integration. If you have another iPhone, I'm sure you know exactly how to migrate. So just gonna set this up as a new iPhone for now. Here we go. Woo. So now let's get into the differences on the iPhone 7 Plus versus the 8 Plus. The reason being I'm doing this comparison is because that's the more latest mobile compared to all the old models. I'm sure the old models are good where they come from. I have an iPhone 6 Plus, and trust me, the camera compared to the 7 Plus, there's a lot of difference. And with the 8 Plus as well, I've seen few photos, and there's a bit more clarity on the iPhone 8 Plus, which is good. So if at all you're planning to leave your 7 Plus and get onto the 8 Plus, unless you're not into phonography, don't do it, because you really don't want to get into this at this point. You know, I wouldn't sell the iPhone 8 to you, or the iPhone 8 Plus to you, honestly. Also, with one of the new things that they have is wireless charging. Unfortunately, they don't give you that with your iPhone 8 or 8 Plus. You'll have to buy that additionally, so that's sad. This looks like the AirPods, but it's not. So yeah, you don't get your AirPods with this either, so that's unfortunate. It has the same feature as the iPhone 7 Plus, as in water and dust resistance. I call this a +1 model because it has the Apple A11 chip, which is of course much more superior to the A10 chip compared on the iPhone 7 Plus. 6-core CPU, M11 Motion core processor, again better than the M10. So you'll see a lot of much more better gyro movements on this, so that's good. iPhone really don't like to disclose much on their RAM, but it's said or rumored to be a 3 GB RAM. So yeah, a lot of Samsung guys might have a laugh on that, saying that hey, we have 6 GB, but it doesn't really matter because Apple is fluid. It's always been fluid, and that's the reason I vouch for it. As per few tests, it's about 70% faster than the iPhone 7 Plus, which in low power mode actually. So that's really good. So it's much more efficient for the battery. Coming down to the battery, best part, you can charge up to 50%. I mean, get up to 50% in about 30 minutes. So that's really good. I mean, yes, we do have problems when you're traveling, you know, when you're using the phone on a daily basis, we really need a charger with you, but it's good. 50% in 30 minutes is really great for time record. I'm not sure if you've used the portrait mode on your iPhones or if anyone's been exposed to that, but if at all, the best part is iPhone 8 Plus has introduced about about 5 modes in the portrait mode. So that's really good. You know, you have really different kind of features that you could use. I mean, if we have to take a photo right now, let's see if we can just do that. Okay, so I took a picture of the box. I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to change that. So yeah, so here if you see the picture of the box, it looks really much like a DSLR because the background's blurred, depth of view actually. And you have studio light, contour light, stage light, and stage light mono. Wow, this is beautiful. Check this out. This is really beautiful. It gives this whole different look and feel to the photo. So that's a big thing for Apple and iPhoneography users actually. So that's brilliant. That's amazing. So yeah, I mean, in terms of photography, I think they've done really good. In terms of compression, because what happens is when anybody buys an iPhone, you either buy an iPhone 64 gig. I always buy the 256 gig just because I know that I'm going to take a lot of videos and a lot of photos, especially photos, and the sizes are big. Whereas this time iPhones come out with this new format that's called the HEIC and the HEVC for photos and videos, primarily to retain the same quality and compress the file of the size. But the only issue that we would face right now, if you are into, again, iPhoneography, you cannot convert that onto, I mean, you cannot push that onto Photoshop. So that's one of the issues with compatibility at the moment, but there's always a loop to it that you can always go back and change the mode of transfer to automatic when you're transferring the images to Photoshop. So then it converts the images to JPEGs. So that makes it much more easier. So yeah. So yeah, there's also one more feature that really stands out. I'm not sure if anyone knows about it, but in the notification center, you can actually switch off LTE right there. So you switched on LTE and you switch it on back. So this is a good feature because probably you don't want to use your data much in few places. If you have a really bad data package with the Etisalat or do, or even Merchant Mobile. So yeah, depends on whatever you want to use it for. But yeah, I love the look and feel of the notification center because you can really operate most of the stuff from here, and helps out, you know, in accessibility. And what else do we have on there? We have, in terms of color, space gray. This is the space gray. It comes in silver and gold. There's no rose gold, there's no red. I'm sure in a period of time they'll be introducing that, I'm guessing, at least. If not, you always have your fancy covers to use. Apart from that, I wanted to highlight one thing here, is that the sizes, in terms of space, you only have options of the 64 gig and the 256 gig, which kind of limits you when it comes to the pricing options. So yeah, they played it very smart this time. I'd recommend going for the 256 gig if at all you're planning to migrate. But apart from that, this phone is just beautiful. I mean, it's another one, hashtag another one by Apple, but comes with some really good features, and of course the OS is really good, really quick. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. Who should buy it? I'd suggest everyone who's having the 5, 5S, 6, 6S, 6 Plus, 7 probably. But yeah, 7 Plus users, I think not really. You don't want to get into buying the 8 Plus as yet, because there's really not much features until and unless, again, emphasizing on phonography. You can record on 4K on both the iPhone 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. Just that the frames per second is a bit more higher here compared to the 7 Plus, and you can also record slow-mo on 1080 here compared to 720 on the 7 Plus. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out on comments, like and share if you like this video. Yeah, cheerio.